Hi everyone, welcome back to Sunny Isle. And in the last episode, we started expanding out this area of the city. We got a whole new neighborhood in South Bay. And today I want to just do a little bit of a small build down here. We've got this space between what is the new kind of internal city bypass road that goes over Phoenix Bridge. And on the corner of that, we've got the high school, very kind of dense, complex elementary school area. So I think this is a really good spot to put some of our first high density buildings. Now specifically, I'm thinking either a mix of medium density buildings and high density low income buildings. Let's have a look at the land value in this area to see if we can actually justify building some high rent buildings, because that is only really needed in areas that people can't afford. And we can see we do have land value here, and I suspect that's because we've got a row of commercial and we've got the tram connection here, the tram stop coming through. And for some reason, I've noticed this a few times in City Skylines, that the overlay, the land value, or if you're looking at noise pollution, sometimes it drifts a little bit. I'm not sure why. I think that's a little bit of a graphical glitch, but I mean, maybe it's not, because we do have this river view here, but they're not really considering that you've also got a view of the train depot and this rail bridge here, which I don't believe there's any sound barriers for rail at the moment. So once the high-speed train is coming through here, it might be noisy. I'm not sure, unless they're going to go down the Japanese route and use maglev. But thinking about it, I still do want to have a area of high density here, but maybe we don't need to really pack it in. We could just kind of spread it out a bit and create some gardens in between. First, we'll start to lay out a simple road grid using a mix of our custom one-way alleys with the road markings and some regular streets. We'll connect these to the existing neighborhood beside the elementary school, and also make a few connections along the arterial road. I'm not too concerned about the number of connections we make, as these are low traffic roads and I don't expect that much waiting. These intersections will see little use, and we'll convert any of these stop lights to yield signs, ensuring that we get good flow through the area for traffic. Next, we'll break ground by placing a few of these tiny city parks, leaving space to zone our first low rent housing. Unfortunately, the textures of these parks are randomized, and I couldn't edit them using the recolor mod. The only solution was to replace and delete them until we achieved the desired result. Unfortunately, that didn't go too well. These little packs are doing my head in. They just won't stay the same color. And you see, I placed a load, and even when I move it, once it's the right color, it just changes the tile. So I guess I could just keep replacing it. Would that work? No. Or maybe, I don't know. Anyway, I'm kind of rethinking this whole area now. I want these three buildings to actually be identical in size. So we'll probably just go for the 2 wide one. And Yeah, I'm not a fan of having them right up against the street either, so we might give them a little bit of a garden. So I'm just going to delete these, to be honest, and replace these lots for something a little bit more narrow. And we could put a car park here. Say we put this there. Have we got any car parks that are 3 wide? I think we do. We've got the tiny car park. Oh yeah, see? Yeah, that's quite nice. But we don't have any car parks that are 2 wide. I think, yeah, because they need 1 lane for driving in and another lane for the spaces. All right, so I might backtrack on what I said and kind of shuffle these all over again. And I think we've got car parking spaces with these buildings as well, because we've already got 1 parking in here for some reason. And then for these front lots, instead of having a walking path through, because that's just going to take people into the car park, I might put a couple of small shops. There we go. And then we can have a little garden in the middle as well. We can also put a small garden in this little bit. And I think for these middle bits, we could have a little bit of paving with some space for gardens on the side. Add in just a few little shrubs along here. And I think actually we could have just used the hedge tool instead, but this gives it a little bit of texture. It's quite nice. And I'm going to leave the footprint of the building alone. These are probably level 1. And as they change, the building model will also change. And so any edits that we make won't be reflected in future versions of the building. And I'm quite happy with just a really simple design like this, and we'll probably throw in a couple of trees as well, and we'll decorate the other side. And looking at these are pretty cool models. I like that. One thing I might change is the color. I think we've got this kind of off-white color, though I do really like this kind of brighter white. But I think for these, I kind of want it to look a little bit aged. So if we copy this one and we select the color painter tool, we can just select the others and it'll change them as well. And I think that just looks great. It looks very harmonious. So yeah, let me just put in a few of the other details, and these little low-rise shops are perfect along here. I like that as well. And we'll be right back. Now, I was considering replacing the street parking here with a grass verge and some trees, but each of these buildings holds around about 48, and I think once they reach to level 5, that number could double. So we're looking at potentially up to 150 to 200 residents in each of these, and there's clearly not enough parking around here to hold all of them. So we'll keep it for now, and they are quite considerate, and they do leave a gap for each of the entrances, both for the plopped parking lots and the ones that come with the asset itself. So Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. It's a nice, simple street block design, and there's local amenities as well. But holy heck, look at this queue. This is pretty bad. We might need to add a slip lane onto this. This is city-owned land. We've got the groundwater pump station here, so it might be worth doing. Another option would be to play around with some of these lane arrows. It looks like we've got the left lane going straight on and turning right. Sorry, turning left. So I don't have the traffic mod, so I can't do that now. So what I'll do, I think I might put in a little slip lane instead. So we probably could get away with using one of our one-way alleys here, using the curve tool. And we've got a couple of nodes. We've got one here and one here, so I'm not really keen on adding an extra node if we don't have to. So we might need to remove this entrance to the water pump, so we'll just have to wait and see what this does. Yeah, look, the road builder custom road is going absolutely crazy over there. I don't think we'll be able to do this. It doesn't hate that, but it does make that segment extra short as well. So let's pause the game, delete this, and we'll try this. So that will do some funky stuff. That looks okay. Just want to know how far can we pull it. Maybe we don't do 90 degrees. So 33 meters, 33 meters goes to there. Yeah, it's okay. I'm just going to do it, see what it looks like. And this is the one with the line markings. We could go without. Give it that cleaner look. Actually, no, I like it with the lines, I think. Yeah, so we'd have to bring the pump a little bit closer, I think. But I think that's okay. We can unpause the game and clean this section up. Turn off the lights, and let's just move this a little bit forward, the height of realism. Still complaining about road access. I don't know if we're going to be able to squeeze this in. I might actually just push it back a little bit. How far can we go? Yeah, that looks alright. And then we can just grab a regular alley road, and then we can just swing that round the front. Doesn't need to have access all the time. I think we just put it in front of this road here, and then connect it into our little slip road. There we go, that's not too bad. And then we've always called this pump lane, so let's restore the name. And High Street shouldn't be the High Street. This is Phoenix Road, Phoenix Bridge Road. And we don't need the lights in this section either. And we've got some parking there, so I'm just going to remove the parking. Keep it nice and clean around the intersection. And we should be good. The only turn that I haven't turned off is vehicles going straight on. They might want to come down this. Oh no, it's a one-way street, so that's not going to happen, is it? No, I think that's fine. And then for this little slip lane, I'm not going to have a name for it. I'm just going to put a little full stop there. And yeah, I think that works. That creates some through traffic coming from Phoenix Bridge Road. So then we've got dedicated lanes, one heading into the city that way, another one heading straight on, and then people no longer need to queue to get onto the main road out the city. And that's actually working out pretty good, actually, because we've got this is the main road and this is the main road. We don't really want vehicles kind of bunching up down here and causing just a lot of congestion. So yeah, happy with that. I'm just going to add a few bushes and details, and then I think this section is done. There we go, simple little design. And you know what's missing? I think it is missing a tree, so let's put a little tree in here as well. And I did get some of those little floor grates to pop your trees in, which I think are quite nice. I think that's in the ground decals. And then we just need a little tree grate. Doesn't need to be very big. Maybe we go for the medium one. Yeah, like that. And we can place this here. And then we get, I think we'll go for not the biggest tree, the oak, because I think they do overlap a lot of the roads, and that's a little bit big as well. Maybe we do just put a palm tree in here. I think that'll be quite nice. And that goes in here. There we go. Lovely. Yeah, I quite like that. A little bit of detail. Didn't go too ham. Something I'd like to do is maybe detail this little tram stop up next, and then we'll just finish off the area after that. So I'll just grab a couple of pagodas and just make this a little bit more comfortable, especially in the sun. We're looking at around about 32 degrees today, and we don't want people to be falling ill because of heat stroke. I actually really like this really ornate one. I think it's quite a nice little design. It's probably not the most usual type that you'd see in the city. It's usually a little bit more utilitarian, but I think given that we've got quite a nice tropical climate, this would be quite nice here. So I'm going to create a little bit of a space here, and I'm not going to just go completely crazy. I'm just going to place the one, I think, and I don't want it to be in the way of any street furniture. You can see we've got these little alleyways going into the buildings. Want to avoid that. And similarly, you don't really want to build this in front of people's shops, but I don't think we can really avoid that here. I think having it here is going to cause issues with visibility, especially like cars probably don't really want to be driving in on this tram road only for access. So we probably are going to have to push this closer to that storefront than we liked. Plop that there. I quite like that. Underneath here, let's just add a couple of benches. I've been just using these little backless benches. I think they're quite nice. I mean, these are quite good as well. And yeah, actually, let's go for this. Oh bloody! How often are these trams coming in? There we go. I think that's a good spot, and we'll put one on the other side as well, along with a bin just outside. People can drop their ticket stubs off. Maybe on this side there's a little bit less traffic. Yeah, it kind of sucks as people are just wandering through. I wonder whether if we just move the pagoda back a little bit into this footprint of this building, it won't be as bad. So use the move it mod, and we just want to select this, and does it let us select the bin? There we go. And then I think we should just be able to pull that back, and we can see people are just walking around the props now. Lovely stuff, I like that. And you could go crazy, you could add ticket machines, potted plants, but to be honest, I think that looks good enough for me. And most of the details are not going to be seen again for a while, not unless you're going to come in and really zoom in, but from a distance that adds enough detail for me. Next up, we got this little plot of land here, and I was thinking of putting some commercial along here, but I think we're loading most of the traffic onto side roads. So I mean, take these apartment blocks for example. We've got them on Aspen Street, and we don't really have that much reason to load onto this. We've got a couple of low density commercial properties here, but I think if we were to build anything here, maybe put it on Oak Street here. However, when we first started the city, we did have a whole network of footpaths, public paths that went through the city, and you can see there's the remains of one here that cuts through the farms. These actually go all the way through the starting area up to the Valley Commercial Park and the village. There's a little footbridge over the river, and I'd like to pay homage to it because that's slowly been removed when we replace the rural highways, because these ones come with footpaths. So I'd like to pay respect to all the walkers in the city by adding one of those passage pack, the one that came with the detailers patch. And I don't think we could fit 2 in, but we could fit 1 at least and then detail around it. And what's nice about this asset is you can see if we just place this down here, looks like we do need to have it near a road. It's got this path that goes all the way through the park. It's also detailed with these pagodas and these fences. And I imagine if you're coming out of the city on this road here, you've got all the traffic, you've got the trams, and this is probably quite a busy area for pedestrians, given that we've got all these schools here. We're now increasing a lot of the density around here. So it'd be nice to be able to give people a nice, albeit a short section of their journey kind of sheltered away from all the noise. I wonder if we can put one of the other parks in here and it can connect up, like the hedge park. No, that's too big. Yeah, I think most of the other parks don't let you attach footpaths to the back of them, except for this tiny city park, which I'm not happy with. I'm not using this. I refuse to. The ring park, yeah, we should do that instead. And we can add road access on this side. And oh, look at that, it even overlap. Oh, is that because of anarchy? Oh no, so even without anarchy, it will add a crossing as if it's connecting up to the road. That's quite interesting. I've not seen that before. We do want people to be able to connect up to the crossing. Do you know what? I don't like this. I'm going to instead put a dog park in. If in doubt, put a dog park in, and I think we can do that here. And we can also add a small little commercial unit on the corner there. I like that. Let's use our pedestrian footpaths to block off some of the zoning. Well, actually, let's connect it up to the footpath to where we want people to go. Right, lovely. We've got the dog parking, and as I said, we can put in a little small commercial unit here. 2x3 is lovely, and the entrance is on Oak Street. Lovely. So we're not creating any more traffic on Phoenix Bridge Road, and the park is looking quite nice. I wonder if we could put a little bit of car parking along here, since we do have a strip of land that we could use. I do have a road with parking built in that I created in the road builder, but I did have some issues with it because of it being left-hand drive. Let's have a look here. It looks like I don't have it anymore, so let's select road builder and let's add parking onto this. So which side do we want it on? We want it on the other side. There we go, lovely. And we want this to be 90 degrees, and we can turn off parking there. And yeah, you can see, look, because it's left-hand drive, the cars should be facing the curb, but instead they're facing the middle of the road, so it does look a little bit odd. But I think what we can do is we maybe cover these up with pagodas as well. I'm trying to aim for a 3-unit road. I'm going to throw on some grass to this and on this one as well. Let's just bump up the size of these pathways. There we go. It's always good to have some symmetry, and then you won't get loads of weird connections. And yeah, that looks good to me. Let's see if we can redraw this and avoid some of these strange graphical issues. Let's remove this and let's draw one of these in straight, shall we? So I've got the snap to the zoning grid and the snap to 90 degrees, and it connects to this corner here. I like that. And then we just need to come up here until it touches. And it looks like there is a little bit of conflicts, but everything else looks good up to that point. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to turn on anarchy and we shouldn't get that much of an issue. We might get some trees popping in, but we can fix that. And there we go. Yeah, no, I like that. We don't get any of those weird trees popping in, and we do get a little bit of an odd connection here. But I wonder if we were to remove the parking on this pavement here. Yeah, that's good enough, isn't it? We won't see that. And we can add a pedestrian path through here. make that connection make sense. And then we've got a little bit more parking in this area, which is great because these car parks are definitely not enough for the amount of people living here. Although I'm quite surprised we do have a few empty spots. But you know, as they upgrade, we'll eventually lose that. Do we want to turn on the line markings for this? I wonder what that looks like. Let's check out the road builder and edit all instances and see if these are lined up. Hey, look at that. They are actually lined up. I like that. And that kind of solves the issue of them kind of looking a little bit odd. It just means you've got a culture of reversing into your parking space in this town, which is quite unusual from where I come from. Everyone just pulls in, and then as they reverse back out, they end up just running people over. So this is probably a safer solution. I like that. The alternative is, as I said, I was going to use maybe not the pagodas, but if we go to find it and find our trusty carport, and we go to search all, yeah, we've got these little carports here, and I think we could have used these. These are the ones that are used in the little tiny car parking lots, the ones for the motorcycles. But yeah, there is quite a lot of overlap on the line, so you'd want to watch out for your doors. Maybe we just add a few, and these could be classed as like the private car parks for some of the residents around here. I quite like the idea of that, and it adds a little bit more detail to the area. There we go, that's quite fun. I like that. It's just a small little detail. I imagine maybe some of these apartment blocks hiring those. Maybe they're a little electric car charge points, and we can actually add those in. And there we go. If you're eco-conscious and you drive around in an electric car, you can come and park here. And we can finish it off with a couple of decals notifying that this area is for electric vehicles only. And of course some electric bikes. That's alright, that. And alright, I'm just gonna fill out this area with a few trees and a few bushes, and then we can move on to add in some more homes in this neighborhood. Beautiful. And it looks like we've got quite a few people using it already. They're not the most desirable type. Yeah, we've still got quite a lot of homeless in the city, and it probably makes sense. We've got very low unemployment, I think. Let's have a look. Actually, not too bad, 8.7. So maybe these people are struggling to find a job, and therefore they're not able to afford somewhere to live. But no, I'm really happy with the park. I really like being able to use some of the mods like Anarchy, and these extra network fences I think just look really nice. They really finish it off. You don't really want to be looking out at cars while you're enjoying the park. And these trees along here, I selected it with the picker mod, and these are the chestnuts, and these will grow up quite large and make this whole area nice and shady. And we've got a few of the little palm trees along here as well, and it's very accessible. You know, once we get this area built out, you know, we've got lots of these little footpath entrances for people to be able to get in. And I really like this little corner down here with the shop on the side. You know, a couple of spots for people to pull in and grab a pint of milk, whatever they need, and straight out onto the crossing here. And I really like using the roads with the medium in between, so there's a place for people to stop if they need to, if they are not able to make it all the way across in time. Although this is quite a short distance, since we have got a custom road here. It's basically like an extra wide asymmetric road with 2 lanes coming out and 1 in, but it still looks really nice. And yeah, the area is coming together really nicely. And I think for this section here, I'm going to use row homes, and I think further along maybe we just come back down to some low density, further away from the school at least anyway. And along here I'm going to put a few commercial properties as well, since I don't think we really want to heavily develop it right now, but if we leave a few gaps, we'll be able to squeeze in some roads and access these back areas when we need to. But I quite like that we've got the trees running along the river anyway. So if there was heavy rain, there's some sort of floodplain, and maybe that's something we really want to consider in the future, is kind of retaining space around the river in case there is an excess of downfall. But for now, I'm going to start zoning this area up. Oh yeah, I like that. I like that very much. Super cozy. We got these little car parks for the row homes because they don't actually come with any parking, and I always feel bad putting them in, and especially on these little lanes that we've got going through the city. And I don't know where people would put their cars if we weren't to provide them space. So it's quite a new city, so we don't really have that much public transport infrastructure in place yet. So I think it is important to place car parks, and in the future maybe we want to replace one of these with an apartment complex. I'm not sure. I did add the medium density home on the end here, just so that we didn't have like this situation kind of repeated with a large blank wall. At least we've got some people looking out over the park. I'm not sure what they were thinking over here. Actually, I do have the windows and doors decals, but this is probably what, a level 1 or level 2, so We could place some windows and doors on there, but they'd probably disappear once this levels up. So maybe we come back in the future and add that, or maybe we just won't sweat it. Anyway, one little detail I thought worth pointing out, that some of these decals or these surfaces by G87 actually overlay on top of the pavement, and you can create these little driveways for people to come in, and it doesn't look as weird, especially if they're kind of coming down and driving over the grass verge. But I mean, you still got the drop curb, or lack of drop curb, but I think it looks quite nice. And yeah, this area's looking pretty cool. They've got a very shady spot near the school, but I'm sure they're quite happy to just be close. And yeah, I think we'll continue the row homes into this block here, and then look at putting some of the lower density down here. So we got a mix of row homes on this side and a little bit of low density commercial along the main road here. And then I've just filled out the rest with some of this low density down here, and that should blend in nicely with this neighborhood at the back. Once this is all filled in, I'll start to put in a few trees here and there and just finish up these details. I also wanted to add some low density commercial along here as well, so we'll do that. And there's quite a big spot here where we used to have the farm, and I'm thinking if we were to zone a large commercial property, we're going to get one big one. I'd like to see, actually, well, that's the entrance, that's like a side entrance to the farm over here, so we'll leave that. Yeah, we'll get a nice big one here. And do you think we should put a large car park next to it? Let's see what we could fit in. So probably the medium car park. Yeah, no, it's not going to let us put that in, I think. The small lot, I think, could squeeze in here, but it does overlap with the water pump just a little bit. So that doesn't really cut it either. Might have to just go to the modest parking lot and then just add a little side road. Yeah, I don't mind doing that. So let's put the alley in first, and to make sure we don't break the grid on this side and here, I recommend putting the snap to existing geometry, snap to zone cell length, and then snap to the zoning grid, and you should just be able to stick that in there. And yet we've got a nice large commercial property, and it doesn't have any parking except for some looks like staff parking at the back, and that won't do it. Anyway, this isn't facing the way I'd like, so I wonder if we could have it orientate itself onto Pearl Lane. So let's just delete it a few times, and there we go. Look, we've got the entrance there, and then we can add in the modest car park, which I think should just snap straight in here. Yeah, lovely. Yeah, so we don't really need to detail this area that much. I might bring this farm closer to the road. As I said, I like to think this is a side entrance to the farm. And actually, we could just use the dirt road to really cement that idea. And let's find the middle point, shall we? There we go. It doesn't really... Let's not use the snap tools. Let's just have it come to here. And there we go. That's as if it's coming into the farmland, and we can even just pull this in right up to it. And we can actually delete a few of these nodes so that we don't have this odd-shaped farm, and clean this up a little bit. Oh, we're going to lose our shop if we're not careful. There we go. There we go, lovely stuff. Yeah, see, look, we've got this lovely... What are they selling? Let's have a look. So they're selling pharmaceuticals. So we've got a nice little clinic here, and looks like the car park's already super full. All right, and yeah, like I said, I'm not sure about adding that much along here. I think we could have a little bit of low density. Let's not try create the same size lot. So we've got a 3x3, 3x3. Let's try the 4x4 here, and let's have a slightly longer one beside that. Let's see what that looks like. And yeah, I don't think I'll add that much more along here. Alright, so I've got this little passageway coming through here, nicely named Pleasant Lane. I put in a couple of these parking decals. I don't think they're working. I did subscribe to Dome's parking spaces mod, but for some reason I'm not able to find it. If I search Dome in here, I don't think that comes up with anything, except for a few of the props that we used, or that he uses in the beach bar. So I'm not entirely sure where the parking assets are for Dome. So if I have a look in here, there's nothing in here. So yeah, I don't think they're working. The best thing we could do is we do have the vehicle prop downloaded. So let's just make sure that we're using the prop version of these. Yeah, I don't know if we're using the prop version or the ones that come in with the game. I'm a bit worried about causing an issue. Let's just test it out. Let's put this in the middle of the road here and see if that does anything. Yeah, look, it's packed over there. So it's a little bit dodgy. I'm a bit scared to use these, so they don't let you delete them. You've got to use the remove elements tool in the Better Bulldozer along with the selection. And yeah, we're going to end up losing a few citizens doing this. So there we go. Sorry. You've just been Thanos snapped out of existence. So yeah, we can't really put any prop vehicles in because I'm not 100% sure that they would be the correct ones, but it looks great, and I'll try find out how to get the custom car parking decals to work because these clearly aren't them, because every other spot in this area is completely filled in. But yeah, super cozy. We've got these little alleys behind the houses, and we've got another little car parking space here. And another detail that I forgot to mention, we've got this little entrance pedestrian walk-through that takes you through to the car parks. And I even included some street lights so that when you see this at night, let's just change this to night. Yeah, look, we got plenty of visibility for people to get through. Unfortunately, the vanilla footpath that comes in with the game doesn't come with lights. I was quite surprised about that. Yeah, you have to add them yourself, but I don't think you can add lights in the vanilla version of the game anyway, so that's quite frustrating. Few palm trees here and there, and I'd say this area is looking pretty good. I'd say I don't want to touch it anymore because I'm having so much fun just adding all these small little details, and like I said before, I don't really want to edit any of the buildings themselves because they are going to upgrade in the future and all your hard work will disappear if you start to detail those, and it's not a path I'm willing to go down. So just chucking a few extra trees in here. This map mostly uses oaks, alders, and of course these coconut palm trees, which I'm in love with, absolutely. And we just need a few more in here because that'll be quite nice. But yeah, this is the neighborhood. And do we have a name for this? So it's close to the groundwater pump, and so this is Bankside. Oh look, it's literally the first section of Bankside. So what I might do is I might create an enclave within this neighborhood, and the reason why it's called the Bankside is because of the riverbank. But I think we could come up with a unique name for this. If you've got any ideas, please let me know in the comments. It might be related to the river. It may even just be an addition to the Bankside. So it could be Bankside Park Estate or Bankside Gardens. I mean, that's quite an apt name given that we've got the park down here. But if you've got something a little bit more creative or something completely different, feel free to post your suggestion. I'll happily take anything. And I was thinking of downgrading this road, and we could do that using the road builder mod, but I'm anticipating this might become busier in the future. We've got a light here that we don't particularly need, and we'll turn it off. And we don't really have that many residents living along here at the moment, so I'll probably just leave it. And it's a pretty good spot for people to overtake the buses if they need to, you know, getting further into town. But yeah, really happy with that. Beautiful, absolutely fantastic. I'm really looking forward to bringing a bit more density into the city, and you can see some of these buildings are already starting to upgrade, and this is where you start to lose some of your color settings, which is fine. You know, I feel like this is a similar color, but that's, yeah, level 3, and what's this, a level 2. So I quite like that the different levels for some buildings are quite similar to each other, and we kind of get to keep that aesthetic as it grows larger and larger. Okay, quick update. So I did have a few issues with my mods, and I got those fixed now. So we do have Dome's parking locks now installed in our roads menu, which is great. So I replaced them down here. I've got 3 disabled bays on this side, and we've just got the 3 regular bays over here. And yeah, the prop version before wasn't working and wasn't going to work. So yeah, it's great having these in the game, and thank you very much, Dome, for producing such great assets. Additionally, I wanted to just take a note about the amount of parking in this area, and it might seem quite excessive, but we actually are lacking parking. Each one of these holds up to 70 households now. And so you can see here we clearly don't have 210 car parking spaces, and that's only if we wanted to add 1 space per household. And in reality, you'd often get 2 vehicles if there's 2 adults living in the house. But over here, I think we're not doing too bad. These can hold up to, I think, 4 or 5 households. And again, we're probably not providing enough parking, but I'm pretty happy with the result. I think this is a very elegant way of adding parking to your city without it looking too harsh, too brutalist, and just kind of sneaking it in behind some of the buildings or along some of the roads, I think is great. And the best parking is street parking, because it just provides so many flexible options wherever you are in the city. You don't have to worry about it taking valuable space for buildings. But yeah, it's important to have parking in your city, because we just take a look at our roads overview and turn off the road condition. So this is all the parking we've got at the moment. We're providing capacity for 2,150 and we've got around about 2,000 cars parked. So if you give it, they will fill it. And if you want traffic in your cities, you need to provide parking, because I find that if people don't have anywhere to park and their cars despawn, they are very, very unlikely to buy a new car. I think even some other people have tested it out and they just never do. The only way to get new cars is when you have new residents coming into your city. And at the moment, I think the mechanic probably needs tweaking, because if you imagine maybe some of the children and teenagers eventually will want to grow up. I'm not sure if they actually get a car, which I think would be quite an interesting thing to figure out. Anyway, I also, while fixing the mods, fixed this road up. I wasn't pleased with having the 4-lane road just kind of ripping through this kind of quiet area. I know this is kind of like one of the main roads coming through here, but we just didn't need the capacity just yet. We only really need to do that down near the junctions where we need to provide enough turning lanes. So now that we've got this one heading out of town, we're able to dedicate one lane to go straight on into East Bay, and then the other to head towards the high school. And this is holding up pretty well. I don't think we need to add any new lanes just yet, but we do have a little bit of space, a little bit of public land around the groundwater pump. We've got the park here, but I don't think we'll need to add any more capacity in this area for a while, especially since we've got quite a lot of public transport in the area. We've got this bus route, we've got the trams up here, and it should be enough as long as we just keep vehicles moving and we don't clutter up the streets too much. It's looking good. I added this little bus section down here using the bus lanes to create this customized, pretty much it's a very lazy customized bus bay. And are they using it? I wonder if the buses are even using it. No, they're not using it because I completely forgot to move the stops. Silly me. Here we go, we all make mistakes. There we go, that should be fixed. So yeah, we should be seeing this bus coming in now. Or maybe not. There we go, we got there in the end. Maybe some of the buses just hadn't updated their route yet. So yeah, it looks like people are using it. We've got people waiting, sat at the bus stop. That's perfect, I like that. And yeah, I think that's a wrap. The only other thing I did add was a postal office down here. Just make sure that we've got lots of capacity in the area. And I did see a Reddit post about placing post offices near cargo hubs, and I placed one near my ship cargo hub, and it looks like mail is moving again. I think they just need to have somewhere to dump all the mail cargo, and they're able to kind of distribute it a lot better around the city. So that seems to have resolved that. So yeah, I'm happy with the result with today's episode. I feel like this neighborhood seamlessly integrates into the city. I like the start of using some of these high density assets, although these are the low rent options, but they're looking pretty good. These are great models, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.